Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, and hot on the tails of yesterday's video, we're going to be doing the next 4 stages of the Fanhome release and build KITT from Knight Rider. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video yesterday where I installed Mike Lane's carpets. So when you actually see the parts today, they are slightly different to what you actually get in the pack because I have put a modification on that. Now, there is some good news that next Thursday, we've got our Christmas quiz. It's going to be starting at 7 PM Greenwich Mean Time. And the top prize in that quiz, which has been donated by Mike Lane, is this side, DeLorean versus Knight Rider Scalextrics, which I think is going to be a brilliant prize for whoever wins the quiz. There'll be more details of that coming at the end of this week and next week. There'll be an answer form and everything. I think we're going to be having either 50 or 60 questions, but Mrs. World of Wayne's going to be joining me here from 7 o'clock. Thursday the 22nd, and we're just going to have a bit of a Christmas do in here, like we did last year. A bit of fun. But today we are going to be doing some of the interior. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So here is stage 51, and I'll tell you what, turning the pages is a little bit challenging today because it is so cold in here. Even though I've got the heating on, it's brass monkey weather. I can't feel the ends of my fingertips, so I need to warm them up. Lots of screwing need to be done. As you can see, we've got the transmission housing here, so we've got lots of details that's going to go on that. Looking just like this here. It does look like I've got to take one of the switches out from the circuit board again, so I'll get that sorted out. That's going to be put in there. I haven't actually taken that out yet. So that's how it's going to be looked at the end of this stage. So here we go. Everything in stage 51's here. And you will notice that I've already taken out cable V as well, which is basically just a single LED on a red and black wire there. Let's get everything out. Now, the first thing we need is the center console, which looks like this. This came in the last stage, and this is actually going to be going onto this section just here. As you can see, we do have 2 holes. This is going to go underneath. It's going to be held in with BP screws. So that's one. And there's the second one there. Now, we need to put the gear stick just into this section. It has got a D-shaped hole there, so I'm just going to make sure this is round the right way and push that in. I say gear shift, it's the gear selector, because this is automatic, so it looks like that. Put that to one side, and now I'm going to be building up the lower control panel, which requires a few parts here. We've got 1, 2, and these little tiny ones in this plastic box here. And it's just a case of putting all these together. So this one's just going to go on like that. This whole housing is going to be going into here, which is actually this way round. So once we've got it like that, we've just got this central reflector, which is just going to go over the back here. Just seeing what way round that fits best. I think that's perfect in there, actually, with this notch facing downwards on that little reflector section. And that will hold everything together. Just leave it like that for the minute and put that to one side, because on this central column, just again here, we have got a handbrake to put on. And that looks like this. It has got a little right angle tab on this, which is just going to go into the side here. So get that lined up and pushed in. There we go. Handbrake's in. Now I'm going to want to put this whole console section just into this section here. So I am going to let gravity help me here. Need to hold this handbrake in place. So cold that I'm being very clumsy. I'm just going to put this over the top like this. Making sure nothing's coming out, then I can put it that way, and that's how the whole center column's actually going to look. Turn it over, it's going to be held in with a BP screw, and that just goes into the hole just off to one side here. And now that, as you can see, is held in on its own, and we have got a working little handbrake there as well, up and down. Now I've got a glove box cover here. Completely different section this is, with a hinge. I'm going to be putting the hinge on top, which is just going to fit into the little indent like that there. That's held in with HP screws. Obviously the glove box here is in the center column. I'm not talking about the one on the dashboard. So that's one. Tiny flat-headed screws these are. and 2. And then in the same way, we're actually going to be putting this just onto that section there. Just making sure it's lined up correctly. So that's going to go in there. And once again, that's HP screws. This is quite a involved stage, this one. There's the second one. So with that hinge, that's going to close perfectly and open like that. So what we want to do is take the center housing now, and I want to get the bulb, which I just took off the car, which is V, put that through the center hole there. That is going to plug into the bottom of the console we've just made in here. Make sure that goes in all the way. Don't want that falling out. I am going to just bend that wire now at 90 degrees. So then I can piece these two bits together. Just like that. Now these are going to be held together with size DP screws. These are flange screws. So one in this side here. And just one in this back section just here. So, looking good. We've got this lead coming out the back. Put that to one side. And these are the seatbelt buckles that we're going to be putting in now. They look just like this, tiny things these are. And they're just going to go over the ends of these sections just here. And they're held in with IP screws. Now it doesn't matter which one goes where, but that's what they're looking like, the inside of the buckle there. Do the same on the other one. Making sure it's in okay. And get that screwed in. And then that's those two completed. And what with the center console, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, we saw stage 52 yesterday because this has the center floor pan in. And as you can see, we're going to add a few more details just to the side of this center console here. I think that's the details we just worked on in the last stage. And we do have that central part, which I couldn't figure out what it was yesterday to put in, looking like that. And then a few more bit of details here. Then we're putting the central tunnel on like that. So again, from yesterday's video, here's the details which I didn't take out. I want to take the center console again and having it this way round. I need one of the seat belts. Now one's labelled L, one's labelled R. So it's the L one I want first, which is going on this side here. It's going to fit into the holes that we got on the side there. Just see we have got a locating lug in there, just like that. And it's held in from the other side, just with a BP screw. As you can imagine, that's not an easy one to put in, because you are screwing it in an angle, but there we go. That's that in on that side there. Just do exactly the same on the other side. So again, drop this into position there, and then screw in with a BP screw. So get that in all the way. Perfect. And that's both of those belts in there. Bring over the center console. And this section that we had before is just going to go on top of these sections here. See, I was kind of right how this goes. It can only go in one way because these are slightly offset. But we're going to put that in again with BP screws. So, one there. And one on the other side. You will notice I took the mats out from last time. I didn't actually stick them in. They're here. I'll put them in later. Now we've got this small connecting piece which is going to go into the two holes just at the end there. Like that. Again, held in with BP screws. I think actually everything in this stage is held in with BP screws. So get this in. One. And two. We then got this other piece to put in, which is going to go where the pedals are, with the flat section here facing towards the interior of the floor pan. So that's just going to go in. Let's just try and rotate this round, just like this here. And again, BP screws. And now the fun bit, we get to actually install this center console into the floor pan. So through that center hole just here, we're going to be passing this plug. Just like that, and then offering this whole thing up, lining up the 2 lugs that we got here with those 2 lugs just at the front, which we have now got. So that's going to sit in just like that there. It's going to be held in from the underside with 4 BP screws, which I've got here. Let's get these in. That's the centre console in, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 53, we've got the pedals that we're going to be putting in. We're going to be creating a cage for the pedals, mounting them in, and then putting these again onto the floor pan, as you can just see there. By the look of it, we've got seat belts here as well. Interesting. Put them to one side. It's these that I'm interested in first, which are all the pedals. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the brake pedal, looking like that, and I'm going to be attaching this to the inside section just here of that cage with a JP screw. Now it actually goes through, this has actually got 2 holes in, you see. It's going to go through that first one there. And I have got my tiny little screwdriver to help me out with that. So it might be best to actually put, this is my tiny screwdriver, put the screw through first. And then offer this up. So, just like that. Get the screw in. Perfect. There we go. We've got a brake pedal now attached to this section. Just like that there. Now I need some of these HP flange screws, because the brake pedal is going to be on a spring. These are tiny screws as well. And we've got the spring here. Now, one side of the spring is going to go into the side of that brake pedal just there, using one of those flanged HP screws. So line it up so the spring's going up just like that. Take your HP screw and then hopefully might be able to get this in first time, which I think I have. There you go. So that's the screw in to the spring that side, and then the other side is just going to screw into the top of this frame just here, which I've got in as well, just like that. So now we have got a spring-loaded brake pedal. So when I operate this, as you can see, it springs back just like that. Using another JP screw, we're just going to be doing exactly the same on the other side, just with the gas pedal, the accelerator pedal. So once again, I'll put the JP screw just through this side and then offer up the accelerator pedal from the other side here, like this. Start the screw running, put it into the position it needs to be, and then screw that in. So there we go. That's those pedals completed. Bring over the central console again, and we're about to put these pedals into place. They're just going to go over the top. Hopefully you can see this here on this section, just like that there, held in with AP screws. 2 of those. So here's the second one going in now. As you can see, that is the pedals in. Put that all to one side because we're just going to be making the belts now. And again, using the small flat HP screws, I'm just going to be matching the backs of these belt sections here together. So they're going to go in, oops, this way, like that, with a HP screw through this side. And that's the second one in. Now we're going to be putting this into the floor pan. And these are going to be secured into the 2 holes that we can see just at the back there. Now we're only pinching these wires in. I haven't got any little plastic clips or anything to go on this. It's a little bit unclear. It looks like they're putting it in with a little plastic on the end, but no. It looks like they are going straight through the belt. And I think I can see that because you have got a very sharp self-tapping screw here. So I'll get one in first. So, as you can see, that's one in. Just do the same on the other side. Here's the other side here. Very fiddly that is, to get that in. There you go, you've got 2 belts now on either side. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So that leaves the last stage here. Just turn to what we're doing. Got a little bit of a bulkhead by the look of it that we're going to be putting in. We're going to be putting some stuff onto that section. So by the end, it's looking just like that. Nice simple stage, this one. So this is what that center bulkhead looks like. We want it to have around this way. So these are facing us here. First thing I'm going to do is put the brake servo just over the top of this section. We have got some tabs just at the side, so it's going to dictate which way round it goes. Just make sure those tabs are in. It's going to go that way round, held in from the other side here with a BP screw. And I've got that here, so just get that one in. Now we're going to do the brake reservoir, which are just these two sections here, which again can only go in one way together like that, but we need to secure these together with the screw of choice, BP screw, just through there like that. Underneath that section we've got the master cylinder we're going to be putting on, which just pushes in like that, and this just goes into the servo just like this. It's just a push in, so it should hold itself like that there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So not really much to do in that stage, but what we have had to do was quite fiddly. As you can see there, we've got the pedals in, we've got the central console in now. I will put these mats where they're going to go again. Someone did say to me, do you really want to buy mats if you're having these heel and toe pads? Well, my car, I think that goes in that way. My car has both. So I'm talking about my Nissan Note, not the not the Night Rider Trans Am Pontiac. But there you go. That looks just like that. And there you go. That's that pack completed. That was kind of fun. Hard when you've got really freezing cold fingers. But saying that, it's nice and toasty in here now because I've had the heater on for well over an hour. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.